What's up, y'all? Eric Johnson back with y'all again. This video gonna be different. My friend West Live on YouTube, he did a video on why Biggie shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I just want to give my 2 cents on it. He's 100% wrong. Biggie does deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is for all types of genres of music. It just ain't for rock and roll artists. And I think Biggie, as an artist and an MC in the hip hop game, you know, an East Coast giant, along with groups like the Wu-Tang Clan. You got artists like Nas, Jay-Z. You know, you got a whole lot of people on the East Coast in the hip hop game. They have brought a lot of jewels to the game over the years, even crossing over. I mean, Onyx, they did songs that turned into like different rock songs, you know, Slam, you know, a lot of songs from them. They're really hard, they're a really good group too. So you got mostly, I think, white dudes listening to Slam and stuff, but they make like rock versions of it and shit. But besides that, Biggie as an MC was way ahead of his time with his versatility, with his street stories, lyricism, and you know, on his player stuff too. But he kept a gangster with his mafioso lingo, and he wasn't just a solo artist. He was an artist that helped a lot of artists. Little Kim, Junior Mafia, Diddy, a lot of people in that bad boy camp and stuff. You know, you had people like Craig Mack, you had Shine, Black Rob, The Locks, Jadakiss, Seek Luch, Styles P. He brought a lot to this game, and I hate that people is trying to say that he doesn't deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Is they gonna say the same thing about Tupac? I mean, of course Tupac deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Both of them do. Both of them are legends. Both of them had a big impact on the game. One for the East Coast and one from the West Coast. But Tupac, he was in New York too, making songs back in the day too and stuff. I got his Lost Tapes CD, so it was like a couple of his demo tracks from like the late 80s. I think going up to like probably like the early 90s. I think it was way before Digital Underground. They used to call him MC New York, I think, back in the days. Probably like in the year 87, probably like 89. He was doing demos and stuff. I forgot what year they put it out in, the Lost Tape CD out in. It was like Tupac Lost Tapes. And it was like a CD of demos tracks he did from way before, you know, his first album, Tupacalypse Now, which came out in 1991. A classic album, underrated in my opinion. I just want to say that if you like Tupac, you like Tupac. If you like Biggie, you like Biggie. But both of them had a big impact on the game. Both of them had classic albums. Both of them had legendary collaborations with the same artists, Bone Thugs and Harmony, a lot of artists and stuff. So, you know, I just hate that it came to them dying to have people actually giving them their flowers while they're dead. But you know, you still had people while they were still alive giving them their flowers, giving them their props and shit. So I just say that when it comes to like certain artists that actually deserve their props and actually deserve to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Biggie is definitely a person who deserves to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So does Tupac, but I'm just gonna say this: there's a lot of artists in the mid '80s that had a big impact way before both of those artists, and they ain't getting the shine in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But I ain't gonna be talking about that. I'm gonna be talking about my homeboy West Live saying that Biggie is overrated as an MC. Biggie discography is, I mean, low compared to Tupac's. I agree with that. But Biggie was only alive for one album. But in that time, he wrote for Junior Mafia, wrote for Diddy, wrote for Lil Kim, wrote for her hardcore album, which is an instant classic. Probably top 5 best female hip hop albums of all time, in my opinion. Up there with MC Lights, All Eyes on This, Foxy Brown's Ill Nah Nah. Queen Latifah was All Hail the Queen. I'm trying to think of some more. Eve's first 2 albums. Eve's Rough Riders First Lady. Eve's Scorpion. Rod Digger. Dirty Harry album, which came out in 2000. You know, Flip Mode Squad, Busta Rhymes, crew and stuff. There's a lot of artists, you know, that he helped out. You know, the Locks, you know, Mace. You know, there was an unstoppable team. Then you had Tupac with his Death Row people. You know, you had the Outlaws, which really don't get their props in the game. You know, I like the Outlaws. First time I heard the Outlaws was on Hit 'Em Up. You know, Edie Amin, those guys. You know, it's a shame that both of them are dead, and you have people from some side saying Tupac wasn't real, Tupac was a gangster. Tupac, he had different personalities. You know, with each album he did something different. His first 2 albums probably was his most revolutionary albums. Then you had the Thug Life album from 1994 with his group Thug Life. Then after he got out of jail and signed to the Death Row, All Eyes on Me, which is I don't know if that's the first double disc album in hip hop history, but that is considerably top 5 best double disc albums of all time, between Life After Death, Diplomatic Immunity from the Diplomats, which is playing now, one of the songs, Bone Thugs and Harmony's Art of War. I'm trying to think of some else double disc albums, because when you do a double disc album, you really have to come with it, because nowadays all these niggas is doing double disc, triple disc albums. Fucking Migos, Culture 2 is probably one of the worst fucking double disc albums I ever heard in my life. Fucking Ray Sherman Life 3, whatever the fuck that trash was. And I can't think of no more. Put some Jay-Z, he made a double disc album. I think Blueprint 3 was a double disc album, so I don't know about that. I like the Dynasty compilation album, because I never know he made a double disc album. Nas, Streets Disciple, very underrated double disc album. A lot of people don't give that album a chance. Crazy Bones, Thug Mentality, 1999. I think that was a double disc album. 8 Balls, from 8 Ball to MJG. 8 Ball's Lost album, which came out in 1998, which really was a triple disc album, but it's really a double disc album. But the third CD is a bonus track with extra songs on it and stuff. But I'm gonna just show y'all some albums that are really good from both artists. Machiavelli, 7 Day Theory, came out in 1996. Tupac and the Outlaws, Still I Rise. Turn the brightness off, y'all. I got some more albums, but it's all on my CD shelf and stuff. I don't feel like getting all that shit out. Strictly for my niggas, I gotta listen to this album some more. I gotta listen to it at work. I listened to it like a couple months ago, but you know, when I be at work and shit, I be listening to some of everything, you know. My favorite albums from his is Me Against the World, Thug Life, All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli, 7 Day Theory, and Tupacalypse Now. It's a mixture. It goes up and down. Then you got Biggie, the Notorious B.I.G., you know, 5 mic album. Well, I give it 5 mics. The Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die, released in 1994. The same year as Illmatic when it came out. Got songs like Things Don't Change, Give Me the Loot, Straight Up Stick Up Kid Track, Machine Gun Funk, Warning, Ready to Die, One More Chance. I like the remix way better, but it's still a good song. On the Fuck Me interlude with Lil Kim, when he's piping Lil Kim down, funny as fuck. That interlude remind me of Big Pun's interlude he had on Capital Punishment, another 5 mic album. Probably one of the best albums of 1998 in my opinion. Let me see what else. The Wet, Juicy, Everyday Struggle, Me and My Bitch, Big Papa, Respect, Unbelievable, I think Michael Jackson on that, Suicidal Thoughts. Very dark ass track. Just talking about when I die, fuck it, cause I'ma go to hell, cause I'm a piece of shit and ain't hard to fucking tell. Yo, that shit hard as hell, man. He just going through his life about him being fucked up, selling drugs. Him fucking his baby mama's sister, I think. It's just a dark ass track. Then at the end, he killed himself. Just a crazy way to end the fucking song. But yeah, classic album in my opinion. Ready to Die. You know, between this and Illmatic and some other albums in the year '94, really a good ass album. Alright, another album from the Bad Boy camp that a lot of people don't talk about, which I'm gonna show that Biggie had a lot of influence on, cause Junior Mafia was under his belt, under his group. Is Junior Mafia's Conspiracy album, released in 1995, the year of the Mafioso. I think the Mafioso era started from 95 to I think like 99. It probably went on longer than that, but this probably was like probably one of the biggest years in hip hop for the Mafioso rap. We all know the godfather of the Mafioso sound is Kool G Rap. You know, those first three Kool G Rap and DJ Polo albums. Then you had his solo album 456, which came out instant classic, Roots of Evil. You know, this album doesn't get talked a lot in the Bad Boy discography. So you got songs like White Chalk, Rims of Junior Mafia, Players Anthem, Get Money, Crazy, which is a fire ass fucking track talking about the ups and downs of drug use in the inner city ghettos and stuff. Backstabbers. This song could have fit on Lil Kim's Hardcore album that came out in 1996. Lyrical Wizardry, Oh My Lord, Murder Ones, fucking deadly ass, gangsta ass track, man. That's the type of song that you listen to when you want to when you gotta put in work and stuff. Or it's ride along music too, but it gets your hair jumping up like when you first hear the song and stuff. So yeah, Junior Mafia Conspiracy, released in 1995. I forgot what some songs Biggie was on. I know he was on My Lord, and Realms of Junior Mafia he was on, and Get Money. If he was on some other songs on here, leave it in the comment section. I don't think he was on Lyrical Wizardry. Yeah, very underrated album in my opinion. This album really defined like Junior Mafia as a group. I wish they made more albums while Biggie was alive, cause they really had some going on. You had Lil Kim, Little C's. I don't know all the members of the group. I have to look them up. I think I know some of them, but it slipped my mind while I'm recording the video and shit. It'll come to me after I start recording and shit. But yeah, Junior Mafia Conspiracy. Get this album while y'all can. Get this album while y'all can. I don't care if y'all get it on CD, cassette, vinyl. I got all of them. I got this album on the 3 different formats. So yeah. And the next album is gonna be Biggie's last album, Life After Death, released in 1997. The double disc, chunky case. I got 2 copies of these. They say this is expensive in this format, like this, in this like different. I guess because of the way the CD case is or something. You know, like when rappers die and stuff, their albums be going up like tremendously and shit. You know, albums, CD prices go up and down and shit. But yeah, another classic album from the Notorious B.I.G. You got songs like Somebody's Got to Die, Hypnotized, Kick in the Door, Last Days with the Locks. Jadakiss killed that shit. West Beef, More Money, More Problems, Niggas Bleed. I got a story to tell, funny ass story about that. He said, I think he said, I don't know if he said that, but you know, I be looking at different people's album reviews on this album and stuff. Shout out to Steven, Immobility 1 on YouTube. He do a lot of good ass hip hop album reviews. He going in more depth than I do. You know, I just show y'all the CD and stuff. I just give y'all like my opinion on the album and stuff. Notorious Thugs with Bone Thugs and Harmony, fucking fire. Going Back to Cali, 10 Crack Commandments, Sky's the Limit featuring 112. Let me see. Long Kiss Goodnight, definitely a diss track to sorry about that. Definitely a diss track to a lot of people in the game, probably Snoop Dogg, definitely Tupac, and more people who was doubting the Notorious one. You know, both of them had fire-ass diss tracks, man. You know, it was wartime. You know, you had the whole East Coast, West Coast wars going on. You know, East Coast niggas couldn't go to the West Coast. West Coast niggas couldn't go to the East Coast. You know, you had people on the East Coast like Mobb Deep, Nas going at Tupac. Then you had Tupac going back at both of them. So, you know, it was just shots fired coming back from different eras and stuff. You know, you had niggas on the East Coast firing back. Then you had dudes on the West Coast firing back. So it was casualties on both sides. Neither coast won because the West Coast lost Tupac and the East Coast lost Biggie. So it wasn't no winner. It was just straight losers in the whole East Coast West Coast wars and stuff. All right, then you got the last song, You Know Nobody Till Somebody Kills You. Very good ass way to end the album. Like I said, this album is top 5 best double disc albums of all time. In the comment section, show me or tell me some of y'all best double disc albums y'all got in y'all discography. And tell me if you had to pick your favorite top 10 double disc hip hop albums of all time. Tell me what they would be and why. And I'm just gonna say this. I like Biggie and Tupac. Both of them got strengths and both of them got weaknesses. They're not the same. Biggie was a laid back, smooth player, but came with the mafioso style. He'll get aggressive with any of them niggas if he had to, and lyrical. Tupac was more the revolutionary type MC. He was more in depth with his storytelling, more on trying to tell stories about the inner city and like police brutality and different things like that. But it was also a different side of Tupac once he got to death row, that thug life, that West Side Till I Die Tupac. You see it on All Eyes on Me, you know, with certain songs, you know, Train War Stories, featuring the Outlaws. I think all of them was on that. And I forgot the other person who was on that track. No More Pain, which is a fire ass track. You know, you got other songs like, I'm trying to think. I Can't Deny It, I'm a fucking rider, you don't wanna fuck with me. You got that track. You know, these songs blank. I be going blank when I be trying to think of certain songs and stuff off of certain albums and shit. But enough of that. Both of them had two different styles, two different types of rhyme schemes, two different types of how they handle developing a track and stuff. I'm just gonna say this: Tupac is lyrical. Yes, I give him that, but he ain't touching Biggie. It's that simple. Biggie's pen game is way better than Tupac. And I hate to say that, but it's true. And I ain't never heard nobody say that. Not in my life, as long as I've been living in my 26 years on earth. I ain't never heard nobody say Rick Ross was better than Biggie. Earl Sweatshirt is better than Biggie. Like different. I never heard nobody say that until my homeboy West Live said that. He did a live stream earlier on why Biggie Smalls shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I disagree with 100%. Of course he should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He left an impact and he left memories of him being in the game. Numerous collaborations on remixes, numerous awards he won, gold and platinum albums, singles, you know, selling millions of copies of albums, singles with Bad Boy. You know, that was raining. He brought the East Coast back with Wu-Tang Clan and Nas and a lot of other artists in the East Coast, cause the West Coast was ruling. You know, they had Snoop Dogg dropped Doggy Style. You know, Death Row was selling tremendous amount of records, but the East Coast wasn't getting no love. So, you know, they had to change up the style of the music, you know, to keep NY alive, and not just NY, the whole East Coast alive. You know, that's why people dub Biggie the king of NYC. And in my opinion, it's a lot of kings of NYC. You could break it down into different factors. Yes, Biggie is the king of NYC, and there's a lot of artists that's kings of NYC, in my opinion. I think Cameron's the king of NYC. You know, you got the whole Dipset diplomatic immunity era. You got Nas. You know, Nas might not be the most outgoingest person, but you know, he held his own in the beef with Tupac. You know, him and Tupac had disagreements and stuff. But Nas, I hold him as a king of NYC. Method Man is a king of NYC, in my opinion. It's a lot of New York artists who can hold that crown as kings of NYC. And I'm just gonna say this: I like both artists. I ain't gonna choose between neither of them. Tupac had good things about him. Biggie had good things about him, and both of them deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it gonna come a time that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame have to choose, that you're gonna have to change these categories if you want people to take y'all seriously. Every time an artist is nominated for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame introduction and getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you have artists like Rick James that ain't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Groups like the Mary Jane Girls, the System, ain't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, you got even some biggest rock and roll acts and groups that ain't even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They've been trying to get in it for years. Shaka Khan and Rufus ain't even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They deserve to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Biggie Smalls don't. That's crazy. Biggie Smalls deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Tupac Shakur, aka Tupac, aka Machiavelli, deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents I wanted to give. I disagree with you, homeboy. You know, as much love, Westlife, but I disagree with probably 90 to 95% of that stuff you was talking in your live stream. You know, so I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it. And here's another artist who's to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. LL Cool J. What about him? Does he deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Is LL Cool J overrated? No, in my opinion, he's not. In my opinion, he was the first hip hop superstar of the mainstream, the first hip hop mainstream artist that really got that push in the mainstream media. You know, this classic album is Radio, which came out in 1985. Classic album. You got albums like Radio. You got other classic albums like Bad, which came out in 1987. You know, LL Cool J is an icon that has went through different eras of music, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now he has a big influence on the game. He definitely deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Tupac and Biggie. I love Tupac and Biggie. No, don't get me wrong, but LL Cool J deserves to be in there way before both of them artists. And that's just my 2 cents. I don't care what nobody say. A lot of artists ain't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They've been fighting for years to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but when they die, then they want to nominate them. They should have been nominated them. Sade deserved to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Shaka Khan alone for her solo work in the 80s deserved to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So besides that, with this whole Biggie and Tupac shit, and niggas thinking that Biggie doesn't deserve to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I disagree with them 100%. And niggas choosing Rick Ross and Earl Sweatshirt over Biggie Smalls, talking about they're better artists. I mean, that's 2 different eras. Rick Ross is a fake ass drug dealer who was a correctional officer, a CO, a cop. But you got niggas out here. You don't hear niggas out here saying stuff about that though. But you might have some people out here saying some shit about it, but when you have people talking about it, they want to just brush it off and shit. Biggie was just being Biggie. He came from the streets and rose from fame, and became probably top 5, if not top 10, greatest hip hop artist of all time. I know he had a short discography, but he did so much while he was on this earth, and so did Tupac. And it is just a shame that you got niggas out here just shitting on both of these artists. You know, people gonna have their opinion, but it comes a time when you got artists like this who did everything in the game, who put all their love, they blood, sweat, and tears in the music, unlike certain artists of this generation that ain't doing it. And you got niggas in this generation just disrespecting them. I'm not saying West Live was doing that. I guess he was just giving his opinion on why Biggie shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, why he's overrated. You know, that's his opinion. It's not mine. I'm giving y'all my 2 cents in this long-ass video. I just disagree with him on that shit. And I don't know if a lot of niggas disagree or agree with me about that. But I just wanted to give y'all my 2 cents on this whole why Biggie shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think it's because of that movie. That Notorious movie that came out. And that All Eyes on Me movie that came out. They got nominated so quickly. Like I said, LL Cool J deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Biggie and Tupac. If you were gonna do that, y'all should have probably just waited a couple years before. Then y'all could have put them in like groups. Like if you gonna put some hip hop artists in, probably put Nas, then put Tupac and Biggie. Then probably put LL Cool J in as a class. Hell, put the Fat Boys in. The Fat Boys deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't care what nobody say. Shit, that was the first fat hip hop group, trio, that was actually giving props up to them being fat and stuff. They were just being them. They didn't change for nobody. The Fat Boys deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Are they underrated? Are they not good? Are they not lyrical? You gotta realize that hip hop was different back then in the 80s. It was a whole different style, a different feel, a different function. You know, I wasn't born in the 80s. I was born in 1994. But I'm a CD collector. I collect albums. I just don't stick to shit this generation. I go in different generations, in different genres, in different times, different places. You know, I'm worldwide with this shit. I might not know everything about the albums I buy or the CDs I buy, etc., but I'm learning every day. That's what being a collector is about, just collecting what you love and shit. And I hate that people out here just shitting on Biggie's name and shitting on Tupac's name. Both of them brought their A game when it came to this hip hop shit and different things they did in their life. So that's all I wanted to say. Like, share, comment, subscribe, dislike, you know, share this video with your family, friends, etc. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on my homeboy West Live and me disagreeing with why he think Biggie is overrated and Tupac is better. Both of them are good. Why do motherfuckers have to choose between either of them? Both of them made classic albums, did classic collaborations, remixes, and sometimes they did bullshit things. But we're human. We learn while we're on this planet Earth. And I just hate that he has this opinion on Biggie and shit. Sorry about that. So yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the situation and drop some more jewels on some different things I was talking about in the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year on this channel. Subscribe if y'all can. You know, give me some ideas on what I should do on my other videos, my shooting videos, my CD showing, CD collection videos, etc. Which albums I should be getting, that I should be uploaded to my YouTube channel. You know, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Check the description box for the information on all my videos, and peace.